Welcome. I'm Edwin Zanabria, a certified dental technician from Peru. I'm a second-generation lab technician in a family business and have been working with Ceramco porcelains for over 10 years. Ceramco 3 Veneering porcelains may be used for all single and multiple units porcelain fused to metal fixed prosthodontics using conventional high fusion ceramics alloys with or without silver. Before you begin the actual build-up, be sure to oxidize or degauss and clean the alloy according to the alloy's manufacturer's instruction. Today, you will see a simple 2-powder crown buildup with step-by-step instruction aligned to the Ceramco 3 Directions for Use or DFU. Both the DFU and my master course video include additional Ceramco 3 porcelains and how to properly apply for more advanced applications. As you will see, this crown is made simple using paste opaque, dentin, and enamel to achieve an A3 final shade. Thank you in advance for watching. We hope that you find it helpful in advancing your skills. Let's begin. First, select the proper base space depending on the shade you're using. Refer to the DFU and see the shade combination if you need some guidance. Next, dispense a small amount of base paste into the palette. If necessary, the paste may be thinned with opaque modifier liquid. Never use water. When applying the base paste, use a brush and a light touch. One technique is to start on the actual walls and move inside the incisal edge of the coping. Visually, inspect to ensure even coverage over the metal framework. After applying the base paste, hold the restoration over a collecting bowl as you sprinkle the crystals into the base paste. Tap the hemostat to remove excess crystals from the outer surface. To remove crystals from the inside of the coping and any non-porcelain bearing areas, use a dry brush. Note that excess crystals on the margin should be removed using the brush at a 45-degree angle, as I'm doing here. The visual indicator for a successful firing is a sandpaper-like finish. Once the base paste has been fired, it's time to apply the shade paste. Dispense a small amount of shade paste onto the palette. Apply using moderate pressure, using a brush to paint a thin layer of shade paste over the base paste. To smooth out the material, a light vibration or tapping may be used. The visual indicator for a successful firing is a sandpaper-like finish. Before adding dentin porcelain, areas on the model that porcelain will contact should be completely sealed with dye sealer. After letting the dye sealer dry, apply the dye release to the model to help facilitate an easy removal on the unfired ceramic unit, so the porcelain doesn't stick to the stone model. Mix the porcelains with modeling liquids E or U, or distilled water to a paste-like consistency. Build dentin porcelain around the cervical 1/3 and condense slightly with light tapping. Continue to apply the dentin porcelain until full contour has been achieved and condense slightly. Next, select the appropriate enamel porcelain and apply it to incisal third. Overbuild by approximately 10% to account for shrinkage. Now, remove the coping from the model and apply a small amount of dentin and enamel porcelain interproximately. To complete the build-up, condense the porcelain slightly. Dry the build-up away from direct heat for a couple minutes to remove excess moisture, before bringing it close to the open furnace entrance. Fire according to the recommended temperatures in the DFU. After the first dentin firing, a proper visual indicator is shiny with a small amount of surface texture. Add the additional porcelain using the same steps and techniques described for the initial application. Match the layering of the enamel porcelain over the dentin porcelain. Second applications of Ceramco 3 porcelains require the same care in drying and firing as the first layer. Before glazing, if necessary, you may elect to contour and texture your crown. If no porcelain additions are needed, the case may be glazed, and after cleaning thoroughly using either steam cleaning or ultrasonic bath using distilled water. To clean the restoration after firing, use fine grit, not contaminating stones, discs, or diamond burrs to refine the anatomy and texture. Once any addition or contouring are complete, prior to glazing, lightly blast the porcelain surface with unrecycled 50 micron aluminum oxide at 1.4 bar. Clean the case with a steam cleaner or ultrasonic bath using distilled water. Dentsply Sirona Universal Overglaze is specifically developed with broad compatibility with a wide array of substructures and veneering systems, including Ceramco 3 restorations. Withdraw a small amount of Dentsply Sirona stain and glaze liquid universal glaze from the jar and place it on the mixing palette. Using a brush, apply a thin layer of overglaze material to all of the crown surface in the usual manner. Make sure to not apply the glaze material too thick or too thin. Too thin of a layer will result in a more matte finish. Too thick of a layer can result in puddling or pitting of the material. Place the crown on honeycomb sagger trays and fire the restoration according to the recommended processing parameters. And there you have it, a beautiful Ceramco 3 crown. You can see the natural beauty as it interacts with the light, the translucency at the incisal edge, the lifelike mamelons, and excellent shade accuracy. As you just saw during this video, Ceramco 3 is quite easy to use. No matter what your personal preference at the workbench may be, to me, Ceramco 3 truly is an ideal veneering system for any lab tech at any level of proficiency. It is easy to work with and the results are consistent and predictable case after case.